Welcome back, everyone. All right, so let's go ahead and this actually looks like kind of a cool little gun right now, but let's go and let's make it a little bit better. Let's just simply do a loop cut, and I'll do one here and another loop cut, something like that. Let's hop into face select, and here we go. We can see that here. Now, one of the things that we could do, and believe it or not, this is what we'd probably do, is there's a lot of vertices here. What would end up happening is a lot of these vertices will be moved into one face here. But we're going to actually make this look way cooler to justify all these vertices in a second here. So let's push 3 on the numpad, and let's push E to extrude, and of course we're going to lock this to the y-axis by pushing Y, and we're simply going to move it out like that, okay? Simple enough. We're going to push 3 again, and this is actually pretty simple, but we're going to push 3 again, and we'll push Y to lock it on the y-axis, and we're going to scale it up this time. Okay, E to extrude, y-axis, and then here we can really scale it up like that. Okay, and so there we go. We have this huge thing at the end. Now, of course, this is not what we want. Now we need to go and push, while we're selecting this face, we're going to go scale into the x-axis this time, and we're going to actually move it in like that. Now, there we go. We got this cool little thing here. Now we can go and play around with this as much as we want to. So for example, if we hop into edge select, let's go and bring this down just a bit. Push 3 again, and we'll bring it down like that. And this is a little bit too low, and we'll bring it up, and there we go. This is something like that. And these are usually a little bit thicker like that. All right, so there we go. Pretty self-explanatory here. So I think that's good. We can in theory go and cut out some of the stuff here later, but I'm not really into that right now. Let's go ahead and let's make a scope. Now let's hop up to the top here, and let's go and select this here. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a couple of loop cuts here. So I'll probably just do this like this, and another loop cut here, something like that. Hop back into face select. We're just going to push E to extrude here, E to extrude again, and we're going to scale this out this time. Okay, maybe move it up just a bit. And that's where the scope is going to be, going to be rested on here. Now, there's a couple of things that we could do, but I think probably the best thing that we can do is to tab into object mode and then create a cylinder. All right, and we're going to rotate this on the x-axis 90 degrees. All right, and we're going to scale this down, way down. And we're going to move that up in here. And yeah, actually that looks actually pretty good. So I'm just going to move it in, and I'm kind of going to move it like that. There we go. If we tab into edit mode, we can actually go and move it up like this. And actually, I think that's probably the right size. Yeah, I think that's probably the right size. All right, there we go. Maybe move it up just a bit. All right, tab into edit mode, and we'll move this face back. Now, it's always fun to work with cylinders, I think. But let's just move that forward a bit. And let's hop into 3, or push 3 on the numpad. And what we'll do is we'll just simply move this here. Push E to extrude, right click, and then I'm going to scale this out just a bit, and then E to extrude again. Okay, and I actually wanted that to be much bigger, so I'm going to do that whole thing over again. Okay, I'm going to push E to extrude, right click, scale this out, something more like that, and there we go. Okay, and that's good right here. And yeah, we could even make that a little bit bigger, but I think that's probably good for the scope here. Now, well, we can have a whole bunch of fun with this back end too. So we can push E to extrude, right click, and then we can scale this out. We can make this big as well, and push E to extrude here. And let's hop into edge select. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll simply put this here, and we'll just simply put this all around just like that. Maybe one too much. And there's actually two things you can do. You can actually just do this, which actually looks really cool. Just like that. Or you can push E to extrude, and that's a whole different ball game. Right? I personally like just doing this right here. It actually looks a little bit cooler. It does create a little bit of an issue with this one right here. So I'm actually just going to move it out just a bit. Just like that. Okay, and if we really wanted to, we could actually just deselect these two like this and move this out. And we can continue to do that for as much as we want, but for the most part I think that's probably good. This does create a bit of an issue, but unless you're making like a super high poly, something super high poly, you don't really need to do that here. Just to make this a little bit more interesting, let's hop into face select here. Let's make this a little bit longer, and let's just scale it out just a bit. Yeah, there we go. It does, I want to scale this out just so that there we go. Yeah, and that looks actually really cool. All right, now we can tab out and we can move this anywhere we want. But if we push 3, let's see, does it look better back like this or forward like that? And remember, you can still even move it up a bit. Yeah, so I think that actually looks pretty good right there. Just make sure it's actually touching, which it is not. You don't want that to happen. All right, so there's a reason why I was down there. All right, so we have kind of the back here. We have the scope. Let's make this look a little bit cooler. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.